All right, problem number 18. Now this is a killer. Now we want to find a here, right? This is a and this is what we want to find. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply. We're going to multiply this by 8 and we're going to multiply this by 8. Now anytime you multiply a number, it's like saying, like anytime you multiply 8 by a fraction, you're really saying 8 over 1, right? So I won't write that down because, oh yeah, I could, I guess. Here it is, 8 over 1, 8 over 1. We multiplied both sides by 8 over 1. So here we have 8 times 1 equals 8 over 2 equals, and here we have 8 times a, which is 8a over 8. Right? This is a multiplication. So this here becomes 4, and this here becomes a, right? Because 8 divided by 8 equals 1. 1 times a equals a. And that's the answer. Moving along, number 19, 16x equals 320. So, we have to divide both sides by 16. And I'll press pause to figure out what 320 divided by 16 is. And the answer is 20. Moving along. Oh, 20 looks more complicated. K over 13 equals minus 16. That one looks harder. Okay, so how do we get rid of this 14? Right? It's k over 14. We want k, so what we're going to do is we're going to multiply k by 13. So let's rewrite this. K over 13 times 13 over 1. Remember, 13 is really 13 over 1 minus 16 times 13. That looks good. And if we do the math quickly, we get 13k over 13 equals minus 16 times 13. Oof, that's not good for me. 8. Carry the 1. 3 times 1 equals 3. 48, and we add a 0 here. 160. Bring down the 8. 0, 208. That's a negative, right? Negative 208. 13 divided by 13 is 1, so k equals minus 208. That is the right answer. It's a tricky one. Minus 16 now. Minus 16 plus n equals minus 13. So that one's easy, right? Minus 16 plus 16 equals 0. Minus 13 plus 16 equals n equals, what's this? Minus 13 plus 16, that's 3. That is the right answer. Moving along now, full speed ahead. Number 22. 21 equals x plus 5. Well, we want to get rid of this bugger right here, and that the opposite of that is minus 5. Minus 5 over here. That's 16. Boy, that's an awful 6. X equals 16. Yes, it does. 23 now. 23. P minus 8 equals minus 21. Plus 8. Plus 8. P equals, so this is canceled, minus 21 plus 8 equals, drum roll, minus 13. Number 24. What does number 24 say? M minus 4 equals minus 13. Well, we got to get rid of this minus 4, so that's plus 4 on this side and plus 4 on that side. M equals, right, minus 13 plus 3 equals minus 9. Very good, Christopher, very good. Oh, back to divisions here. 25 is 180 equals 12x. So how do I get this x here? This is really 12 times x, so 12 times x divided by 12, right? And here we do the same thing on this side. And that equals, wait, I'll pause and I'll find out. And that equals 15. X equals 15. Is that right? Ooh, yes it is. Yes it is. Muy macho. I like it. 26 now. Number 26. 3n equals 24. So 3n is really saying 3 times n. Well, we could divide by 3. That would cancel out. Equals 24. Oh, 24 divided by 3, and that's 8. So we have n equals 8. 27 now. Moving along full speed ahead. 20b equals minus 200. Well, let's divide both these buggers by 200, right? Because 20 times b divided by 20 equals b. Think about it. So that's b, and this is minus 10, right? Because 20 divided by 2 equals 10. If it's a negative divided by a positive, the answer is a negative. 28 now. 28. Oh, now we're getting into the tricky problems. X over 12. Ooh, that's bad. That's bad. That's bad. How do we solve this bugger? Well, if something divided by a number, if you multiply by the number, you're essentially canceling it out. So here times 12, here times 12, and so here we have x times 12 divided by 12. Cancel this, and 12 times negative 27 equals, I don't know what, hold on. Okay, x equals negative 204, that's the answer. 29 r over 14 equals 5 over 14. Now this is a trick question, right? If you have the same denominator, 14, something over 14 equals 5 over 14, then r has got to be 5, right? Think about it. 5 over 14 is the only thing that can make 5 over 14 true. You know, if you're saying equal, it's kind of a trick question. So we'll gloss over that. However, let's you want to do it for real? Like to solve it? I don't feel like it. Forget it. All right. N plus 8 equals 10. So we're trying to isolate this bugger right here. And so we're going to put down n here because we won't do anything to it. Then it says plus 8. The opposite would be minus 8. And this side we have to do minus 8. So that would be plus 0 equals, because right, plus 8 minus 8 equals plus or minus 0. It's the same thing, which really means n. And 10 minus 8 equals 2. So the answer is n equals 2. Yes, it is. 31, number 31, closing in on the end of this exercise. Minus 7 equals a plus 4. Well, minus 4 here, minus 4 here. Cancel this, we carry down the a equals minus 7. Here you have to imagine yourselves a little plus, plus minus 4, which really is minus 11. What is the answer? Minus 11. 32 now. Blitzing this one, burning through it. V minus 16 equals minus 30. Well, what is the opposite of minus 16? Plus 16. We have to do it to both sides. So minus 16 plus 16 equals 0. So we get V here equals minus 30 plus 16. So minus 30 plus 16 equals minus 14. Yes, and that is the answer. Number 33. 10 equals x minus 4. I feel we're not doing enough multiplication or division in this book. I don't know. Like those are the harder problems. Those are the ones we should be doing anyways. I'm just saying. I'll do more after. So 4. Here we have x. What do we want to do here? We're going to isolate the x. So this comes down. I'm stuck here with minus 4. So to get rid of it, I have to do plus 4. And on this side, I have to do plus 4. So that equals 10 plus 4 equals 14. Is that the right answer? Yes, it is. 34 now. Moving along. x minus 16. All right, here, what's the problem? We're going to look at this here. Split it in two, right? We have an equal sign here. We want x. How do we get rid of all this stuff? Well, minus 16, you just add 16, right? And you add 16 because you have to keep the equation equal. So minus 15 plus 16 equals 1. X equals 1. All right. 35 now. 35. 13a equals minus 143. Okay, so we want to isolate a. This is clearly a multiplication division problem. So if you multiply something by 13, you divide by 13 to isolate whatever you want. Here, 13. So these two 13s, 13 divided by 13 equals 1a, which really is a, right? Equals minus 143 divided by 13, I believe, is negative 11. Yes, it is. 36 now. Minus 8k equals 120. So whatever you multiplying by minus 8k, you can undo by dividing by minus 8, right? So here's a minus 8, we're dividing. And here's a minus 8, we're dividing. So negative 8 divided by negative 8 equals 1. Here you have k, bring this down, equals 120 divided by negative 8 equals negative 15. So since k, anything multiplied by 1 is that thing you're multiplying, k equals negative 15. Am I right? Yes, he is. 37, number 37. P over 20 equals negative 12. So anything divided by something, if you multiply by that amount, you're going to be just fine. So 20 divided by 20 equals 1. So P equals negative 12 times 20, which is really minus 240. 38. Negative 15 equals x over 9. So anything divided by number, if you multiply by that number, both sides, so 9 times negative 15 equals 135, negative 135 equals, look at this, by multiplying this by 9, look, this 9 and this 9, because this is really 9 over 1, is you cancel and you're left with x. 39. 9 plus m equals negative 7. Well, the opposite of 9 is negative 9. This bugger's carried down. 9 minus 9 equals 0. Negative 7 minus 9 equals negative 16. And now for the last problem. Oh, they kept the hardest for last. Negative 19 equals n over 20. So anytime you have one of these things, every time you see n divided by anything, you got to multiply by that thing to get rid of it, right? So here we're going to put a 20 right here. And here we're going to put another 20 multiplying this bugger. So we're going to get minus 380 equals n, right? Because these things cancel. So that's the end of the problems. Just a note, anytime you divide something by something, you're multiplying divide by the same number, you always end up with the same result. So if I do any number, let's say x, or let's say 3 over 4, right? 3 divided by 4 equals 3/4. But however, if I multiply 3/4 by 4, I get 12 over 4, which equals 3, which is where we started, right? Except I don't have the 4 underneath. See what I did there? See what I divided by 4 and then I multiplied by 4 and I came out to 3. So that's the way you do these buggers. That's the hardest one and that's the way you do it. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson and I'll be posting the next one soon.